Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome once again to our um, weekly Saturdays program for Hari Katha. Before we get started, we will do very short kirtan. I request you to also sing along and clap your hands because by clapping the hands, as we discussed many times previously, what happens is our karma or karmic lines in our hands starts to change. So let's do the kirtan. I will not use the kartal because sometimes the kartal has a sound, okay, which is not very audible, like when we hear it from the other side of the Zoom. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Okay, I'll play light kartar. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namah Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana Giridhari Gopinath Madana Gopala Madana Mohana Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ, श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। हरिहराय नम कृष्ण यादवाय नम, हरि हराय नम कृष्ण यादवाय नम, गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकचर्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद शिल भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकचर्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय। श्री श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री श्री पुरुषोत्तम धाम जगन्नाथपुरी की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सिंबल डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सिंबल डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा। All glories to the Supreme devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे एवरीवन कैन रेज योर हैंड्स। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यैश्वरं। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. So we'll start with our session. Okay. Does anyone remember which verse we had covered in the last session? So yes, Lalu Kaku, you want to share?
2.39.
Yes. So we were at 2.39. Let's go where we stopped. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So let's start with two second chapter, 40th verse. We covered this 40th verse slightly, but let us touch upon this particular verse. This verse is very, very important. This is a extremely important verse. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And no matter like whether you are a devotee or you are not a devotee, this it doesn't matter at what stage we are in our devotional practices, but this verse is very, very inspiring. I hope everyone can see my screen. So we are at the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This is the 40th verse, and let's read this. I suggest all of you, when you get a chance, you can go and read the purport for this one. Okay. So let us start with the invocation prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, you can repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayo Mudirayet नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोप कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. So many times we may think that, okay, why the need for so many prayers? Like we can directly go to the main topic, right? But when we glorify, this is Krishna. See, this Bhagavad Gita is non different from Krishna. These are Krishna's words. When we glorify the Bhagavad Gita, then the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita that opens for us. When we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and when we pray that okay, that knowledge be revealed to us, then when we come with an open heart to receive the knowledge, and when we pray for this auspicious chanting of the mantra, or at least listen to this with an attentive ear, where we are fully focused uh, in trying to hear, then what happens? Then Nashtprayashu Abhadreshu, all the inauspiciousness within our heart is Nashtprayashu Abhadreshu, they are destroyed. And 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 what is the qualification for that? Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. When we regularly hear the Katha of Bhagavad, not that okay, once we hear this and then it was good, it was very nice class, and then if we ask like, okay, what did we hear from that? I don't remember anything. So that means what? It we liked it at a mental level, we liked the class, but there was not much of absorption. So wo- so the essence is in how much we absorb. See, I mean, just take for an example. Even if we go to a university, right? A simple, plain, material university. or any school or college where we go, if we go and attend all the classes of the in the session, but if we have not paid attention to any of these, is it really worth it? It's not really worth it. So what is the value of this spiritual knowledge? So this particular verse tells that, text 40, नेह विक्रमानासोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमपि यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. Krishna is telling, O Arjun, in this endeavor, that means in this Krishna conscious activity, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. It's a very, very important word, which means what Krishna is saying is that if you do little bit in Krishna consciousness, that will be there in your permanent bank balance. So let's take, for example, so let me just see the audience who are here. Okay, I know among the audience, like, okay, our Lalu Kaku. So he has retired. Rest everyone, like, okay, some of you are students, some of you are working, right? So, but in this world, what happens is, like, if we see who are the big industrialists, like if you look at here in US, you will find Bill Gates is there. We'll find our now our Tesla's Musk is there. Okay, then we have Mark Zuckerberg and many other people are there. In India, we have the Tatas and the Birlas and the Ambanis. We are there. Okay, so they are earning a lot of money. Okay, they have a lot of money there. That means wealth is there. And then there is another aspect. Like, okay, there are many people who are highly educated. Some may be great scholars. Some may be PhDs. Okay, some may have, like, okay, great, very beautiful looks. Like, okay, they may be very beautiful or very handsome, very macho personality. Okay, so these these things are there. And but we have to understand these are all material qualifications. Okay, to get a good family, to get a birth in a good family, high birth, like, okay, right, to get a birth in an aristocratic family, to become highly educated, to become very rich, these are all material qualities. But what the Srimad Bhagavatam says is that all this, like, okay, no matter whatever these qualities that you're talking about, these things, these material qualities, they will be finished when the body is finished. Is there anyone, like, who would like to say that, okay, no, no, I don't agree with that, like they will not be finished like when my body is finished? Is there anyone? No, none of us. Like, we all understand that, okay, yeah, yeah, this I know, and what is there. So, but the general thing is, like, okay, see, even though we have seen others, okay, this person, he was a businessman, he was making such wonderful money, but one sudden day he died of a heart attack. Okay, we may see our own relatives. Many may have died at later age, many may have died in early age. These days, heart attack is so common. I know, like, okay, my classmate here is there, our Vatsal Prabhu. One of my classmates, like, okay, he died at the age of 41. In fact, what to talk about, this is from my school, but one of my college classmate, he died at the age of like 30, approximately 30. He had a pinching heart attack, and they called the ambulance. Ambulance was there in like 5 minutes, but he did not have 2 minutes. He was my roommate actually, and no one could figure out what happened to this guy. This guy was always happy. So the point that I'm trying to make is, people do not although they have seen this, okay, and when I say people, we should put ourselves also into that. Even though we see this around, we don't accept that, okay, I might also be in that situation. We are always planning for future planning. Okay, what is my retirement fund? I don't even know whether I'll make it to that point. Okay, we are thinking about, okay, what can I give to these people? But there is no guarantee. So most people, okay, although okay, they are thinking that, okay, whatever I am trying to build, they are going to go with me, or I'll be happy with this kind of material possessions. This is called illusion or Maya. We may hear this word Maya many times. Maya means illusion. In Hindi, it is called Brahm. Okay, because these people, they do not have the knowledge that our real identity is that I am a spirit soul, and I am changing position from different bodies. Okay, from time to time. Okay, many people you will see that, okay, they'll come into Krishna consciousness. Okay, then by Krishna's mercy, suddenly they will be, suddenly Maya will track them. Oh, you have a nice business, you have a nice job, you have a nice wife, you have a nice this family member, you have this, that, you have this attraction, that attraction, and they'll be completely lost actually, and they will go with that flow. But one day, when everything ends, either they leave or their near and dear ones leave, or whatever endeavor they were into, that is completely spoiled. Then they are like heartbroken. Oh, what is this? And there are so many examples where people have come back and said, okay, I made a mistake. I lost so many years. And now I am now back to square one. So, in Bhagavad Gita, let me share my screen. We have read this verse, but I wanted to again reflect on this particular verse to just as a reminder for all of us. So we are now in verse number 40, but let's read this particular translation, 22nd verse of the same chapter. Vasamsi jirnani वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णन्ति नरोपराणि नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. Just read, my dear friends, please read this just translation. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones. Anyone is there who keeps wearing the same garment, daily the same dress? No. Every one of us give up their old garments and we wear new garments, right? The soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. So it is as so we all have to give up our old bodies and accept new ones. It is not that, okay, it is not going to happen to us. It will happen, and the fun part is we don't know when it is going to happen. So at any moment, we can be kicked out of our current situation. We have to understand I shall be kicked out of my current situation at any moment, and I will have to accept another situation. Many times we try to make a permanent settlement in our अरे बंगला ले लिया है permanent बंगला. Okay. Mortgage paid हो गया है. Okay, I'm relaxing. But what we are talking about is a material thing which will not be ours in few years. That is the lack of education in this modern civilization. We are trying to accept something very temporary as a permanent settlement. And this is what is called Maya. So um, in this particular verse that we read, what is Krishna telling Arjuna? Lord Krishna is telling Arjun that, my dear Arjun, this Krishna conscious activities, even if you achieve 1% result, what is that particular result? Let us read one particular verse in this context from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me share my screen, then we'll know what Srimad Bhagavatam is saying. And I'm just sharing this so that you understand from the scriptures what are these saying. This is the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is saying, I will not read the verse, but let's go to the translation itself. The translation is saying, devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from the other things. These three occur simultaneously for one who has taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. What are the three things? Devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord, and detachment from other things. So these things they simultaneously occur to one person who has taken complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Okay. In the same way that pleasure, nourishment, and relief from hunger come simultaneously and increasingly with each bite for a person engaged in eating. If we eat, then what happens? We feel good. Ah, pleasure is there. Then nourishment, all whatever we are eating, there is nourishment going into the body, and relief from our hunger. Our hunger is also gone. So this is a very beautiful example Bhagavatam gives. See, just the translation itself is so explanatory, so much self-explanatory. So I just thought of sharing that. So just how we can know that we are making advancement. This is something to know. So this Krishna consciousness means that we develop attachment towards Krishna, and at the same time we developed detachment for material sense gratification. Okay, so what is this material sense gratification? It's very important to understand. It is three things. These three things, and I took some time before I could come to this so that we all understand, okay, where we are at. What are these three things which are related to material attachments? Please hear this very, very careful. It is called Kanak, Kamini, and Kirti. Kanak means attachment to gold or wealth. Always paisa, 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 right? It's not going to give us happiness. Kamini. Kamini is opposite sex, attraction towards opposite sex. And third is Kirti. Kirti means attachment towards fame. How many likes are there on Facebook? My post has been liked. Instagram or whatever. How many people are talking about me? Okay. So if if fame is something that really attracts us, then what happens is when the fame is not there, at that time it is most hurting. I'll give an example. There is a, I don't know how many of you would know, but there is a Bengali, uh, just like we have Bollywood, Hollywood. Similarly, like in Bengal, there is whatever the film industry is called, that is called Tollywood. And I have not watched many Bengali movies, but I have heard this character, and this really touched me. There is one very beautiful actress of one time. Okay, her name is Suchitra Sen. Okay, very famous, and she was very, very extraordinarily beautiful, and she was very popular, very famous. But at one point of time, see, the at one point of time, when her beauty was no longer like earlier, she became so much affected with that that she could never come to face the public for years. You can understand, okay, how much this fame, popularity, beauty that takes over us. So I just wanted to touch that point. So we talked about these three things: Kanak, Kamini, and Kirti. Attachment towards wealth, attachment towards opposite sex, and Kirti, attachment towards fame. So we have to, these three are considered very, very material, and one who is attached towards this will not be attached towards Krishna. even though they are striving hard, but they will not be able to make any progress, or they will not be able to make much progress. What we could be, we could start with having these, because each and every one of us would have some of these or all of these in some or different proportions. But if we pray that, okay, please Krishna, please take these things from me, okay, and please purify me so that I can become a pure devotee of yours, then slowly and steadily, gradually, Krishna will uplift us from there. And how can that happen? This is very important to know. It is by association of sincere devotees. Association of sincere devotees makes the greatest impact in our life. So let me give an example. Let me give a materialistic example. I whatever see, William Shakespeare has said this, like, okay, whatever you become, whatever you associate with. I think he used one phrase that, okay, um, I am not able to remember the phrase, but I think it was something like that. Like, you show me your friends, and I will tell you who you are. So basically, if someone is associating with a businessman, he will develop interest in business. If someone is associating with a drunkard, an alcoholic, then he will, whether he is consuming alcohol today or not, eventually he will become an alcoholic. So slowly and steadily, like, okay, whatever we associate it with, we become that. Let's take a very, very gross example. Um, have you ever encountered, like, I'm sure you must have encountered, if you go to a place where a very nice perfume is coming, okay, whether it's in a temple where they are putting that agarbatti, or at home also. After some time, what happens? Like, okay, once after you put the agarbatti, after that, like, okay, incense sticks, like, okay, you don't feel the smell of that agarbatti. Why is it? Anyone can tell that? Why do you don't? Why do you not feel the smell of the nice fragrance that is coming out of that? Anyone wants to try? Are you guys able to hear me?
We are not sure.
You're not sure? Okay. Nandini Premada is saying because the stick is over. No, no, I'm the agarbatti may be still there. Okay, let me give you another example.
No, the thing is, we adopt this. I mean, we adopt smell. I mean, because of that, we're
What?
staying a long time in that smell. So, um,
Yes, you got it, Amit Prabhu. That is the right answer. So let me try to elaborate what Amit Prabhu is saying. Because we have stayed in that environment for some time, we got conditioned or we got used to it. Just see an reverse example. See, think about, see, in US, like, okay, most of you might be used. In India also, like, okay, you go through if you're walking through a place where there is a bad trash smell, or you just come back from outside, because in US, like, these houses are very closed. There is not much ventilation, especially in winter. In places like Michigan, houses are closed. You come and see there is a very bad odor coming in. You're trying to take everything out from here, and this, you take whatever is required, you put it out, and then or you are just working on it, and after some time you get used to it, like, okay, you don't feel that smell anymore. Or you are living in the house, someone else comes in and says, are you not feeling this bad smell coming out? But you did not feel that. Have you encountered this? Why is it? Because we are conditioned to it. This is the power of association. We become what we associate with. So, my dear friends, let this be the takeaway from this session. What we associate with, we become that. If we are trying to associate with someone who is a drunkard, we will eventually become a drunkard. I have seen this in my personal life. I I had a friend who used to always boast that, okay, I live among these people. I was not into Krishna consciousness at that time, but he would always boast that, okay, I am. He would say, I'm very spiritual in person, but I have all my friends who are like drunkards or this, that, like many different type of things he would say. And unfortunately, uh, it is a different thing what kind of spirituality he was practicing, but he was not into Krishna consciousness either. But unfortunately, whatever he was boasting about is not there. Okay, so we have to be very, very careful. And not just this one example, I've seen numerous examples like this. Our greatest example comes from Ramayana. See, Kaikai, we always hear that Kaikai, like, okay, she told Dashrath Maharaj that, okay, she asked for two boons. Let Lord Ram, who is just like her son, let him be banished to the forest and let my son Bharat become the king. But do you know the history of Kaikai? Kaikai loved Shri Ram. For her, it was not Lord Ram. She loved Ram just like her own son. In fact, she loved Ram more than her son, Bharat. This is Kaikai. And what happened? She just associated with a wicked serpent like mentality, Manthara. And what did she do? She implanted the seed of, of greed for her son. She said, okay, what will be your position after this guy becomes the king? You will be just like a servant. Why? Because there was an ulterior motive in Manthara's mind. Oh, if she is not the main queen, what will be my position? That's how she planted this. And what was the result? Ram was sent to banished forest. See, these incidents, whatever is happening in Ramayana, Mahabharata, these scriptures, whatever they are saying, right? They are so much relevant in today's age. You just see that, okay, whatever someone is associating with, they're getting the same mentality. What is someone feeding us? We are taking that. We become what we associate with. What are we getting inspired with? So so for a devotee, it is very, very essential that a devotee becomes fixed up and says no to the asatsang. Asatsang tyag ei Vaishnavero achar. The Vaishnav's first character is that he does not associate with non-devotees. And how do we understand that? A Vaishnav. That doesn't mean that, okay, in my house, oh, I have another person in my house. That person is not a devotee. So what? today, today throw that person out. No, not that. That means that we will not take any information from them that really inspires us. If we tend to hear from them, we will take inspiration from them. We'll try to serve others, but we'll not try to take inspiration from there. I brought a new iPhone. What is your phone? See, I'll give a conversation, like general conversation. Right? I bought a new iPhone. This is like, I don't know what the latest is, like 15, let's say. So, and what is your version? You might say, okay, mine is 12. Oh, this has such new features. Okay. See, this feature is very nice. That feature is very nice. This, that, like, okay. Now, you might be using your iPhone and you might be satisfied with it. But I just spent like few minutes with you, 5 minutes with you. I just told about the features of this. I'm gone. and suddenly you feel that okay, you're this 12 iPhone which you were using for last 2 3 years, and before this moment you were thinking that okay, I will probably use it for, I can manage to use it for next 2 3 years and like this. But after I leave, you may feel that okay, this iPhone is good, but I think I need a change. It's not the latest in trend. I think there's much better things in market. What has happened? I have taken inspiration from there. This is, I have taken that association. So a a materialist, or what we call as, who is into this Kanak Kamini Kirti, is always having this kind of an inspiration. And when we take inspiration from there, we have challenges in our personal life to move towards Krishna. But it could be possible that okay, we may be struggling, but we should constantly keep praying to Krishna. I will give an example. So this is an example that I like actually. So um, a devotee always tries to take shelter of Krishna, no matter at whatever stage they are in. So let me give an example. I heard this from Nitai Sevani Mataji, Har Grace Nitai Sevani Mataji. She was saying that okay, as a child, they would go to some of their relatives' place. Now, when they would go to this relative's place, so her family was a family of devotees, but the relatives' place where they would go, they would also eat vegetarian, but they were not devotees. Plus, they would eat onion garlic as well. So one day, like there were some guests who had come to this other place, and they were also visited. And at that time, like they were given some pakodas. Everyone was eating pakoda. And Nitai Sevani Mataji was a child actually at that time. She was a school going child. So she said, like, okay, Mummy, I want tomato sauce. So because at home she's used to eating pakoda with tomato sauce. Now her mother thought, Arey, this is not our home. If she has tomato sauce, then that has onion garlic because we are like in those days. Recently, Maggie and Kisan brands, they are coming up with tomato sauce with no onion garlic. But up until 2 3 years back, everything was available with onion garlic only. So her mother was like, no, 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 don't talk about tomato sauce here. No, no, mommy, I want tomato sauce. Her mother is like, her mother is making her eyes big, big, like, okay, no, you should don't talk about that. She's trying to instruct her with her eyeball movements. And Thaisavini Mataji was not in a mood to take that. And she was like, Mommy, I need this tomato sauce. Okay. So now everyone was seated there, and she was like, No, no, Mommy, I need tomato sauce. And she knew where the tomato sauce used to be. It would be in the refrigerator. So she started walking, and as she's walking, she's in her heart, she's praying, Oh Krishna, please help me. I am not able to get out of this. I need this tomato sauce, but I know this is detrimental because that has onion garlic also. Please help me. Please save me. I need the tomato sauce, but please save me. I need it. In her heart, she was playing like this. And then she opened the refrigerator. And as soon as she went to pick the tomato sauce, the entire bottle slipped from her hands and the bottle was broken. And then everyone came, Arey, this broke. Oh, are you hurt? Are you hurt? And the attention shifted to whether she's hurt or not. And then she was telling that, okay, see, sometimes what Krishna does is he's protecting us. Even, what it might look is, Arey, should not get tomato sauce also. Like, as we might think, Arey, should not get tomato sauce. But the thing is that she was praying in heart for Krishna to protect. Krishna does not accept like that which has onion garlic. So that is how Krishna is protecting her. If our prayers are sincere, if our heart is simple, if we are accepting with an open heart what comes, then what will happen? We we'll see the reciprocation of Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. So we were talking about association. So this association is very, very key. Let me give another example. We have to take the association of sincere devotees. But how do we first understand who are devotees? So let us understand this a little more. Uh, we'll discuss it at a high level, but let us understand this. See, Krishna is telling that okay, there are four. Uh, actually, there are four paramparas that are coming through Krishna. They are called Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Shri Sampradaya, and Kumar Sampradaya. Brahma Sampradaya means the knowledge that was given to Brahma, it is coming in the line of disciplic succession. Rudra Sampradaya is Krishna gave the knowledge to Lord Shiva, and that is coming in the line of disciplic succession. Kumar Sampradaya means the knowledge given to the Chatush Kumar, four Kumaras, and it is coming in the line of disciplic succession. And Shri Sampradaya means the knowledge that was given to Mother Lakshmi, and it is coming in the line of disciplic succession. So out of these four sampradayas, ISKCON falls in Brahma Sampradaya. It's called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So it's a branch of the Brahma Sampradaya. And so these four sampradayas are bona fide. And within this, there is we we need association of sincere devotees. So we have to observe, okay, who are the devotees who are sincere in their practices, whatever they are whatever they are talking about, whatever we are hearing from our scriptures, are they following that kind of a life? We should hear from the acharyas like Srila Prabhupada. We should hear from the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And then we should understand, like, okay, that whom we can associate with. But an easier method to understand this is when we associate with someone and after that association, we feel inspired to do our Krishna conscious activities, then it is a Paramatma signal that we should take that association. But while we are doing that, we should check whether that particular devotee, because we are also still new, so we should check whether that devotee is coming in the line of a bona fide sampradaya, and so is that person actively practicing what he's sharing. We should we should check that. Sometimes it may so happen that okay, we may hear something from here and there and we may feel inspired, and which is which may be required at that point of time, but at the same time, like, okay, the medium from where it is coming, we have to validate, like, okay, whether that is the right source, okay, whether they are also practicing. That way we can seek that particular association. Okay, so any questions here, like in this aspect? Otherwise we can cover a little more. Okay, let's move on. So um so this we talked about this one thing, that this Krishna consciousness or the bhakti means to simultaneously develop attachment for Krishna and at the same time develop detachment for material sense gratification. So, what is this material sense gratification? Material sense gratification means kanak kamini kirti. That is one aspect. And then the gross sinful activities, such as, let's say, eating, eating, let's say, meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, gambling. These are very gross, sinful sense gratification. So, developing detachment from these. So, because if we have to put milk in the glass that is consisting of water, then in that case, we have to throw the water out. Then only we can put the milk. Okay. If you put, if in the same glass you want to put milk also and water also, if you mix them, then either the milk will get diluted or the water will get polluted. So you cannot have both of them in that. So that is the test, like, okay. So if we are um, slowly progressing in the path of bhakti, then slowly and steadily, like, okay, what will happen is, like, okay, we will lose our taste. It's not that, okay, we'll have to force our way, but one who is sincere, that person, he or she would be able to take this in a very simple, easy. That person has an gets this thing very, very easy. So we talked about, like, if one person makes 1% progress also, then like in the next life, the person starts from that point, right? Um, let us, so if our education, if our degree, if the all the opulences that we have, if we know that that is when we leave our body, that will go away. Okay, we will not be able to carry this. We'll have to accept another body. But if we cultivate this Krishna consciousness, that is something that is going to remain permanently with us. Then, and in if in this life, if we attain 10%, then from the next life we start from 11%. Then what is the immediate question that comes? If someone is intelligent, then that person will think, "Arey, if this is temporary, and if that is going to go away, then why don't we invest in something very permanent, and why don't we fix this? Why don't we complete 100% in this life itself?" So if someone is intelligent, they'll think like that. So why should we then indulge in a materialistic life full of sense gratification, right? So we have anyway tried this in many lives. Like as we discussed earlier, we have all had lives of hogs, like, okay, that means of pigs, of dogs, of worms, of aquatics, of trees, whatever you can think of, whatever the living entities you can think of in the living kingdom, like, okay, we have had all of these. And but as human being, when we get this human life, this is the highest boon. And after millions and millions of births, one gets a human body. And in this human body, the highest attraction should be, our highest objective should be how we can utilize it to develop Krishna consciousness, so that our polluted consciousness can be transferred into Krishna consciousness. And that's where we come to this next particular verse. And what is that verse? Let me share my screen. व्यवसायत्मिका बुद्धिर एकेह कुरु नंदनः बहुशाखा है अनंतश्च बुधयो व्यवसायिनाम. Very, very attentively, please hear this. Those who are on this path, that means those who are on this Krishna conscious path, are resolute in purpose. They are fixed up and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, that means, O Arjun, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. It means ones who are not fixed up, they'll be thinking, okay, I'll do this also, I'll do that also, I'll do this also, this, that, like many things. Like, see, just think like, okay, we have many students here. One who is thinking that, okay, I want to get my master's from Stanford University or MIT. If that person is fully fixed up in this, they will put all their effort in doing this. Okay. And I want to, or let's say they think that, okay, I want to do it from a top Ivy League university, and I want to do it in electrical, for instance. So they are putting their energy in this. But another person who does not know what to be done, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll apply for electrical, but if not electrical, then I'll apply for mechanical also. These days construction is also not bad, so I'll apply for civil also. And by the way, if I don't get in any of these, then maybe I'll do a diploma also. now, now if you think about this, it's a many branch thing, right? So technically, it is very, very clear that, okay, the first one, if he's really putting the effort in the right direction, then in that case, that is far better state to be than the second state. So how do we understand this in the spiritual context? So in the Vedas, there are many different kind of allurements which are given. That is like many father will say, right, like, okay, my dear child, if you become highly educated, if you get a nice job, if you get a good salary, many from time to time they give, parents will give allurements, right? Then I will give you this one. If you do this, then I'll give you this one. If you do this, then I'll give you a bike. If you do this, then I'll give you a car. And somehow they want to, they give this allurements, right? So similarly, there are allurements in the materialistic way of life also. Just like the father in Vedas, also there are materialistic allurements. So people, like they are on one hand, like, okay, they are given these kind of material attractions. Like if you do this, then you will go to higher planets. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, please hear this attentively. He says, don't get misled by these allurements. And he is saying this will come later in our eighth chapter, but I have that verse for you. So just read this verse. You will know what Krishna is saying. Okay, Krishna is saying, this is coming in the eighth chapter, 16th verse. What is Krishna saying? Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartino arjuna mam upetya tu kaunteya punar janmana vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world to the lowest, all are places of misery. What are they? They are all places of misery and wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, that is, O Arjun, never takes birth again. So Krishna is telling that, okay, Arjun, even if you go to the higher planets or you go to the lower planets, every place is a place of misery. But once you come back to me, then you don't go back from this place. And Krishna explains in future, okay, that the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan, is a place of intense happiness and bliss. And at every moment, one is always in happiness and bliss. And one does not have to go to that Golok Vrindavan to experience that. One can experience that while practicing Krishna consciousness in this lifetime itself. So, so that is the crux actually. So that is how Krishna is saying that, okay, don't be allured. So some people may think that, okay, I want to go to heaven. Okay, don't be allured. Krishna is saying these. So when Krishna is saying this, he is not making a false statement. These are fact actually, and there are so many things by which, like, okay, we can actually decide where we want to go depending on what we are doing, what activity we are doing in this human life. Many people, we may have heard this Vedic instruction, what it is saying, tamasoma jyotirgamaya. What that means? Tamaso means tamasic. That means in the darkness. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. That means that, okay, don't stay in darkness. Jyotirgamaya. That means come to the place of light. So now we know that, okay, when there is night, when there is darkness, will we be able to find anything? We won't be able to find anything. Okay, we are all, whatever we, wherever we'll go, we might bang our head, we might, nowadays we put night lamp. But if there is no night lamp, if we go to a new place, especially, think about it. How will it be? It will be terrible. But when sunlight is visible, then think about daytime. We do not have any problem. So that's how it is. So this jyoti means illumination. Like wherever there is light, we are not in confusion of what it would be. And Krishna is saying that, okay, he will say that later in the 15th chapter that, okay, this abode of mine is is not light. It does not have lights like sun or moon, and it does not have any electricity also. One who reaches my abode, that person will never return into this material world. So we can understand this, and also I want to end. I know, look, we are almost there at the time. So since I was talking about this association, I want to give couple of examples. Like, okay, what happens when we take a very, very powerful association? Firstly, I want to reflect on the life of Srila Prabhupada. See, Srila Prabhupada, his Guru Maharaj, his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, he gave him an instruction that at that time Srila Prabhupada was not even initiated. He said, Abhay Babu, you take this message of Lord Chaitanya to the Western country and spread this knowledge in English language, because people there will be totally in anxiety, they'll be suffering so much, so they need this. Krishna consciousness is an urgency. So when Srila Prabhupada, when he started his journey, like about he Prabhupada took like almost 40 years to prepare for with the instructions of his Guru Maharaj. He translated the Bhagavad Gita, he translated the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He wrote so many literatures, like pamphlets. When he would go to distribute these pamphlets, because it was his Guru Maharaj's instruction, many times like he was the only person distributing. You know where he would go? In Delhi, he would go to this tea stalls. Tea stalls, people are smoking, people are having tea in their cups, and Srila Prabhupada would offer them. And people would say, nah, nah, I don't need this. Like, okay. He would be giving it for few cents, okay, few paise, and people would shoo him out. Like, okay. They did not know that this is a pure devotee. And that same Srila Prabhupada, he s- he took the journey 38 days in the Jaladuta. It's a ship, it's a cargo ship, not a passenger ship. I am sure like none of us have been through any cargo ship also. Okay, because think about it, from US to India, if we take a flight, forget 38 days. Even if it is 38 hours, we are like, can I get something like for a which can reach faster, right? What to talk about 38 days? He did not have any food arrangement there, because everything was all meat actually. It was being eaten. And when the ship stopped, like it started from Calcutta, and when the ship stopped at in South India, in Coimbatore, I believe, that's where the captain, his name is Captain Pandey, he got down, he brought some potatoes and some rice and some other items. So Srila Prabhupada can at least eat something. Srila Prabhupada did not tell him, but he observed that this is a genuine sadhu actually who is traveling. And that Srila Prabhupada, like, when he came to US, he would go to coin booth for restroom. There were just like we go to telephone, like there used to be telephone booth like with this. In India, it is still there, Sulabh Sauchalaya. So, so similarly, Srila Prabhupada would go to US, like, okay, in New York, he would go to coin booth for restroom. He would stand in queue with others. He's a 70 plus year old person. And why did he do that? My dear friends, it was for you and me, so that we can take this, so that we become happy. Think about it, my dear friends. If it is, forget about us. to realize what it takes for a 70-year-old person. Just observe a person, because when we get to that age, we may not be able to do so much. But you observe a person of 70 years old. Our Lalu Kaku is here, okay? He's 78. I'm sure he understands what it means. If you're alone in a place, what it means, okay? He's alone in a country where he does not have any winter clothes. He does not have any arrangement. He's staying in Bauri with people who are failing in all the four regulative principles. They are meat eaters. They are taking intoxicants. They are gamblers. They are illicit sex mongers. And when Srila Prabhupada is cooking, like, okay, he's keeping his prasad with all the meat, everything. And that Srila Prabhupada, when some people, when he started this movement with chanting the Hare Krishna mantra in Tompkins Square Garden in New York. And that Srila Prabhupada, when he he used to start when he started doing programs in 42nd Street in a storefront in New York, some people started coming. For 6 months, every day he would give the class, he would cook, he would clean the vessels, okay, he would clean the room, he would make it everything tip and tip tidy, and then next day again, like, he will clean, he will cook, he will do everything. He did not request even one person. I want to ask you, what will happen if people around you, I'm not talking about the students, but I'm talking about those who have families. Just think about it. If no one cooperates amongst with you, even for the students, like, if no one cooperates with you at your home, if no one in the world cooperates with you, how would your consciousness be? But Srila Prabhupada was always thanking Krishna. You know why? Because he was tasting the love of Krishna. And when he was singing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he knew that if once one gets this taste, then he will also become like I have become. They'll be detached. What does detachment means? Detachment doesn't mean that, okay, oh, I'm detached. Like, okay, this is my wife, this is a family member, they're gone. Like, I don't care about them. Chodo ghar bar, chalo Haridwar. It's not that. Detachment means that, okay, to serve others, but not to have any expectation. It is such a high state. We are not there. It is a very difficult thing. But if we are sincere, if we are sincerely chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then it is an automatic result that comes, like, okay, where we serve others, not with the mood of expecting anything. And how do we chant? When we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, before that we make a sincere prayer. Oh my dear Lord Krishna, oh Shri Radha and Krishna, oh Harinam Prabhu, please bless me so that I can become a sincere devotee. I can become a pure devotee. I can only, I can always please you. And as we are chanting, we should remember that this holy name and Sri Krishna, they are non-different. The holy name also, just like Krishna has feelings, the holy name also has feelings. So if you are chanting like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, I'm checking my mobile, like, okay, then what will happen is, it is just like, think about it. You have invited the most important person, and they have come and sat just right next to you. And at that time, what you're doing, you're just checking your mobile phone. Wouldn't it be disrespectful? It will be. When it is, our scripture says adarad and anudine, when you regularly chant and when you do it with adarad, when you do it with a lot of respect and love, then what will happen is the holy name will manifest. And through this holy name, everything will manifest. This this by chanting the holy name, the form of the Lord will be revealed. By chanting the holy name, the the pastimes of the Lord will be revealed. The actually first form, then the qualities, then the pastimes of the Lord will be revealed. And as the pastimes are going on in Sri Vrindavan Dham eternally, similarly the pastimes will be going on in our heart eternally. So let us take this very, very sincerely, because this is a Divya Gyan. This is not like material knowledge that we get in college. If we establish the right priority in our life, then we will be the greatest beneficiary. And the whole idea of this group is not to grow like, okay, hundreds and thousands of people like, okay, in a Zoom group, or like, okay, have many people watch the videos like, okay. What Srila Prabhupada said is like, okay, I don't need a million moons, or I don't need a million stars. Srila Prabhupada said, I need one moon. That means one pure devotee is is good enough. Brahmanda Tariti Shakti Dhare. That means that okay, one pure devotee can deliver the entire Brahmand, entire universe. That is the power of a pure devotee. Whoever the pure devotee comes in contact with, okay, they are they are delivered. And what is the nature of the pure devotee? Pure devotee doesn't mean that okay, we have to be a top class. We have to show that okay, how we are. It is not about the externals. It is about the internals. And in the internal, we can develop that if we develop the mood of servant of the servant of the servant of Srila Prabhupada. If we take these words to our heart and try to always follow whatever we are hearing from Srila Prabhupada, try to hear from Srila Prabhupada. See, when we hear from pure devotees, what happens is we develop, we may not understand everything, and that is fine. But if we are attentive in trying to, if we are trying to attentively hear, through that, our soul would get nourished, and we will definitely make progress. Of this, there is absolutely no doubt. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. If you have any questions, we can take that, or else we can conclude it here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So, does anyone have any question or any comments? Amit Prabhu is asking, like, okay, are these four sampradaya follow the same lifestyle? I mean, same food habit? Yeah, food habit is more or less same. Yes, food habit is more or less the same. There is not change in that. But the mood of the four sampradayas is different. So, um, so in this, in Gaudiya Sampradaya, Gaudiya means like, okay, the followers of, so in Brahma Sampradaya, Gaudiya is the branch of that, and Lord Chaitanya is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Those who are followers of Gauranga Mahaprabhu are called Gaudiya. So, what Gauranga Mahaprabhu, so Brahma Sampradaya has all the different things that are coming from Krishna. And when Gauranga Mahaprabhu felt that, okay, we as Kali Yuga rejects, we may not understand Krishna's instructions that nicely. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu came personally, and he came to give the highest thing, love of God. So we can, um, by developing the love for God, we can experience. we can deliver the highest service to lordships, and we can experience the highest bliss out of that. That is what Gauranga Mahaprabhu came, and what he did is he gave the best from all the sampradayas. He took the most crucial things like from the sampradayas, and he gave that so that like, it is all comprehensive actually. So I hope that answers your question, Prabhu. So there is much more detail to it, but then once we get to that level, then we can cover that, because right now if I go to a more detail, it may just go over the head. Amit Prabhu, is that clear? Okay, I think Amit Prabhu maybe uh, okay. Anyone else has any questions or any comments? Was this whatever we talked about, was that understandable? Maybe I can stop the recording here. I just want to